What's going on, everyone? You have to excuse the dirty truck. Haven't had a whole lot of time to clean it, but want to do a recap of the Team Stance 2019 Union road trip I just got back from not too long ago. Really was a big undertaking even getting there. It was in Kentucky this year, and less than 5 days before we had to leave, this truck didn't have a cab or an engine. Bought the truck less than a month before the meet, and in less than 3 weeks replaced the entire suspension, engine, a ton of performance parts, did a bunch of body work. Actually, these aren't the wheels and tires that I even had when we went to the Team Stance Union. I've replaced those, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Kind of wanted to go over what the trip consisted of and what you'll be seeing. And we will be doing another video where I go over what this truck started out as and what it is now and how it got there and how long it took. Overall, it was a good trip. The truck performed flawlessly, especially considering that I think we had less than 50 miles of testing on it after we had the whole thing back together before we left for Kentucky, which wasn't ideal considering the engine, transmission, cab, whole, everything pretty much was off the truck a couple days before that. A, I have a lot of faith in my work, and B, I didn't have another choice, so kind of had to work. I had a great time. It's pretty much Team Stance is like a big family. They're friends that we talk on Facebook pretty much daily, if not multiple times a day. But we only get to see each other, most of us, once, maybe twice a year. We are all over the country. It's really hard to get together, but when we do, it's like your family. It's like you've known each other your whole life. And it's a pretty cool time. If you're into trucks, lifted trucks, lowered trucks, performance trucks, you ought to think about joining. One of the cool things, the first day we showed up, basically we just crashed the hotel parking lot. We take over, park our trucks, block the whole parking lot off, and have a party, have some drinks in the parking lot. And they gave away door prizes this year, and I won a one-off custom Archon wheel. It's pretty exciting. I forgot to have Sean sign it, but I'm planning a trip to custom offsets when my big truck is done. So the plan is to take that wheel with me and have Sean and John sign it, and it'll be hanging up in my shop or probably in my office on the wall. It's a little cleaner in there. I don't want that thing to get dirty. The truck show turned out really good. We rolled with a pretty decent group of trucks this year. I think it might have been a little bigger last year, but I'm not really sure. The truck seemed taller last year, but maybe that's because it was my first year and I was just in awe of rolling down the road with like 30 or 40 lifted trucks, and on 35s, which is what this is, I felt small last year. This year I kind of felt like I blended in a little bit better. Next year on 40s, possibly 42s, depending on what I can swing, we ought to be one of the big kids in the group. Like I said, overall, real good trip. The show was good. Going out to dinner with the team was good. Just getting to bond and hang out and kind of bullshit. And really, honestly, for me personally, the show's fun, but the parking lot parties are a lot more fun. The shows, we usually stay all day. We're there for a long time. It's during the summer, so it's always hot as balls. Like, apparently the truck's smarter than I am and decided to shut off the lights. So much for that cool effect. But the parking lot parties are where it's at. We usually take over the pool. Last year we paid off the pool attendants and got to stay in as late as we wanted. This year we got kicked out. So you had a bunch of wet drinking people in the parking lot, which turned out to be just as fun. Way back, the drive was really good. Not a ton of problems. There was one section where you'll see traffic is stopped, like a dead standstill, and we'd creep forward 5 or 10 feet and another standstill for a while. That was pretty annoying. Rained on the way home. Definitely need to get a tonneau cover on the work truck. That's super annoying. I said I was gonna order one, and then I got online and went to order one, and instead I ordered rock lights from Colton and wheel lights from Marcus, so those are gonna be going on. So, had sushi on the way home. That's kind of our ritual we started last year. Peoria's on the way home from so far everywhere we went, and we love sushi, so stopped there at Osaka Hibachi and get some sushi and some salad and kind of have a good time. Made it back home safe and sound. I really couldn't have asked this truck to perform any better. It did really, really well. For anyone who's been following me for more than a year, Last year when we came to the Team Stance Union, on the way to the Union, we ran out of fuel. And I was on this long stretch, 2-lane blacktop, forever and ever and ever. Came up to the top of a hill, knew I was fucked, ran out of fuel, rolled down. We are actually headed back the other way a year later on the same road. I'll show you guys when we get back on the road. We're gonna head up the hill that I rolled down last year with no power because I was out of fuel. As soon as I recognized this spot, even though we have a half a tank, I said we're filling up because I ain't doing that shit again this year. But if you follow me from back then, over a year, you'll recognize the spot. Anytime you have a cab off, bumpers off, engine out, I'm talking radiator, condenser, intercooler, there wasn't anything from the transmission forward on the frame. That's a lot of stuff to get back together and a lot of little nuts and bolts. And you do your best to make sure everything's damn certain the way it's supposed to be, but especially on a deadline and working long hours and no sleep, you never know. And thank the Lord, I did a damn good job. The night before we left, I think I got like 45 minutes of sleep because I was out here freaking spraying bumpers and doing all sorts of crazy shit before we left. But had a good trip, had a good time. Hardcore looking forward to next year. Hoping we can get together a couple times next year maybe. This truck may or may not stay, but the big truck will be done by spring. And looking forward to hitting up a lot more bigger truck shows. Just missed Lifted Nationals. I was trying to get this thing to. Didn't quite make the deadline. Had some stuff I had scheduled before I realized that it was this past weekend. I had some shop stuff scheduled, and we had our county fair here. Wasn't a parade, that was pretty cool. But looking forward to getting to a lot more big shows next year. Maybe catch another 1 or 2 local shows here with this truck this year. And looking forward to hanging out with my Team Stance family again. Get up to Custom Offsets and do hopefully a little spotlight video of the big truck when she's done. So thank you, Dustin McKee, McKee Automotive, member of Team Stance. Have a great one.